Testing.
Hi, hello, testing. We're from Maker Girl. I'm Manisha. This is Julia. Are we good?
We're still working out the technology for this. Again, you're tuned into the hip hop entrepreneurship class at the University of Illinois. We are in Cafe Pixel, a technology firm in downtown Urbana, Illinois. And we call the space Pixel After Dark. And we are now deeming it Ghetto Genius Studios. What you know about that, man? What you know about that? See, we're this is official street bootstrapping. Hmm? We just make it as we go. We make it as we go. All right, so you need a cord, Alvarez, and I hope I didn't take that part of my back. Because here's the headphones, and here's a cord. And we should have an adapter of some sort. All right, we might need to find a quarter. You might need to find an eighth to quarter. You need to find an eighth to quarter. Yep. Okay, let's find us an eighth to quarter. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and kill the music. All right. All right. So are we? Oh, okay, we're good. We're good. All right. All right. So we have. Why don't we do some intros because we have guests here today. Again, Maker Girl, welcome to Hip Hop Entrepreneurship in the Tech Entrepreneurship Center at the University of Illinois. And I met y'all, of course, at Innovation Celebration and was real stoked about what you were doing and thought it would be great. You guys thought it'd be great for us to kind of get together and hear more about what you're doing. But I wanted you to meet the students that are taking the class. And as I shared with you guys, this is a tech startup. The class itself is a tech startup. So we're building it as we go. And we're documenting it so we can actually run our sessions on the internet. So folks can find us, they can learn about you and what you're doing. And so we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to get your information out and folks can find you. So why don't we start off with some introduction, starting with Ash, and we'll go around the room and then we can get real acquainted and we can all be friends around here and get doing some good talking.
Hey guys, I'm Ashu, and this is Dr. P's class, and he's awesome. And so is this class. I came here for the free coffee. I don't know why you guys are here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We have a grand vision for this class.
Sure. Do that, but also just what rank you are in school and what's your focus, just so they'll know and everybody else will know too.
I'm a senior in computer science. I'm also studying acting. What my core focus for this class is to learn as much about entrepreneurship and how hip hop fits into entrepreneurship. In my opinion, a lot of companies have hip hop in their heart just because of survival, and I think that's awesome.
All right, my name's Zach. I'm a senior in computer science as well, and I'm also studying astronomy. See, me and one of my friends sort of came up with this idea last semester. Well, really, he came up with it, but he enlisted me for help. That's a cool barbershop app. We'll talk about it more later. We've been sort of just like reaching out to as many sources as possible to get experience with entrepreneurship and sort of like legal issues, you know. And this class, I thought would be interesting for like the cultural side of all of that, getting an idea of how to market yourself and everything. So that's why I'm taking this class.
I'm Palom. I'm a senior in IT and accounting. Very familiar with Maker Girl because they're in the iVenture program that I did during the summer. Trying to start a startup, so I'm trying to learn as much about how hip hop ties into entrepreneurship as possible.
Hey everybody, it's Yanis. I'm a senior studying MCB, which is just biology, and double majoring in communication. I'm interested in hip hop or in this class in general because of hip hop. I grew up listening to it, and I wanted to see more of how it tied into entrepreneurship and the business world that we're in now.
I'm Eric Yates. I am a senior in mechanical engineering, and I'm in this class because I really love entrepreneurship, and I like to always expand my perspectives. And hip hop is not something that I have the most experience in, and I always love to expand my horizons and see what I can learn from it, and what I
Excellent.
can do to help.
And you're a DJ.
And I DJ.
Excellent. All right. All right. Let's hear about Maker Girl. What do you guys do? Why do you do what you do? And kind of give us the full skinny on Maker Girl. And this section. So you guys are the first to do a segment. This segment they're calling "That's What's Up." Okay. And so let's check you out.
Cool. So again, my name is Manisha, and I'm from Maker Girl. I'm the external director, and this is Julia.
Yeah, hi, I'm Julia. I'm a master's student in accounting, and I'm one of the co-founders. We started Maker Girl last November, November of 2014. And since then, we've had about 55 sessions with about 480 girls. We are doing 3D printing sessions in order to get more women into all of your fields, so into science, technology, engineering, and math.
So you guys. So basically, it's a pipelining initiative. Am I understanding? Okay. And the idea and the goal is to increase a women representation in the STEM fields. Am I correct? Okay.
So we started off with 4 co-founders, and today we have 21 students from not just U of I, SIU as well. We had our first sessions in SIU last semester, and then we also have sessions in Chicago, and we're working on expanding to Wisconsin and a few other places. And then we're also starting something called Maker Girl Goes Mobile. So this summer, we're going to be traveling across the truck in a little Maker Girl truck, and we have printers,
so
laptops,
cool.
everything that we need for our sessions in the back of it. And our goal is to target populations that don't normally have access to 3D printing.
See, wait a minute now. Y'all got this car going around. Y'all act like that's just some small feat. Did y'all make that with the 3D printer?
We did.
Can we get that on camera, Alvarez?
I'm sorry? A lot.
We can't bring it over there? That's what I'm saying. We bring it over there. Yeah. Yeah, bring it over. Walk it over. Show them the technology here at work. Who drew that? How'd y'all get that shape and all that?
Okay, so
Why don't you come on over?
Okay,
Yeah, we want you over here in the mix.
Okay.
Eric? Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So this little truck is really fun, and the wheels actually move. That's part of the reason why we chose this service.
Yeah.
So we use this, we used an online platform called Tinkercad, and they have designs that are already up. So thousands of people upload their designs. So we actually didn't design this one. We just got to use someone else's, which was awesome. And then we added the word Maker Girl on it.
So the prototype was already there, and all you guys had to do was download the blueprints and then run it, and then printed it up, and that's what's happening.
Yep, exactly.
See, that's what's up.
Yeah, so this was printed from filament. So it's
Yeah.
in a spool, a plastic spool, and then in the 3D printer, it heats the filament up, and then through an extruder, it puts the filament in layers. And then normally, so it has to print layers.
Sure.
So you can't see, but like in here, there was little pieces of filament that we actually took out.
Cool. So is it customizable?
Yes, it is, yeah. You can do your own colors, whatever you want. The printers that we have in our Maker Lab only print one color. And then, as you see, we added our own layers.
That is so cool. And tell me who, in terms of who is working on that with you, where have you done that at? Like, where'd you do the printing at? Did y'all in your own shop? Where did that happen at?
Sure. So we printed in the College of Business. They have a Maker Lab, which has 14 Ultimakers, which is a type of printer, and then about 8 computers.
Oh, cool. Now tell me, and students, please, I mean, y'all chime in. I'm doing all the talking, so, but don't let me, I'm by no means the expert on any of this. You guys from your own respective fields, I want you to chime in and talk about how that relates in terms of things you guys are thinking about and what works with that. Okay, so tell me about the organizations and the communities you're going to go into with this project.
So we are targeting underserved populations for 3D printing.
So a lot of rural communities.
Hold on one second. We got some And so you have to talk in a little bit. I want to know when we go live again, um, how close are you getting your truck, or do you already have it? And don't say that. You find out again? You good already? Okay, rolling. Okay. So we were talking about your vehicle, right? Make a girl. We were talking about your vehicle, and we were talking about where are you with the pertaining the vehicle.
So we're actually starting a Kickstarter campaign that goes live March 1st for next week. And that's to help us with funding of our equipment. And we're still working on getting this truck. So if you know anyone that has a truck hanging out and wants to let us use it this summer, let us know. But you can find us on makergirl.us, and we'll have links to our Kickstarter. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
So your campaign's going to be on Kickstarter?
Yes.
Okay. And is there, okay, so we'll just go to the Make a Girl Kickstarter campaign?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Excellent. What made you decide to use a Kickstarter?
So we were debating between Kickstarter and Indiegogo, but I think that comes down to at the end of reaching your goal. With Indiegogo, you'd only get a portion of the profit if you didn't reach your goal. Sorry, with Kickstarter, you would reach, if you didn't reach your goal, you'd still get a percentage of it back. With Indiegogo, it's all or nothing. So no, with Indiegogo, whatever you raise, you get, and then with Kickstarter, you have to reach the entire amount to actually get it. But we found for our audience and what we're doing, Kickstarter would be better because there's higher success rates. There's a larger audience. We just found that Indiegogo had less, success in what we were trying to do. So.
I got a question. Grab the mic so we can capture both of you.
So you explained the difference between the two crowdsourcing methods. Have you pursued any other sort of investments?
So we are doing other sorts of raising money. So we're doing the Kickstarter, and we're actually using that more as to try and get the smaller donations as well as marketing. So a Kickstarter really is really good at marketing. That's kind of what it's focused at. And then we're also pursuing like a
So what exactly is your Kickstarter goal, and what's like your marketing strategy in terms of reaching kind of customers?
Oh, they don't. Did you say where you from? I don't remember.
I'm Cologne, and I'm 19 County.
So our marketing strategy. Well, we're definitely trying to start early. So we're trying to raise awareness before it actually happens. So with Kickstarter, you want to raise most of your money within the first 2 days. And then if you raise a certain portion of the money, you actually get boosted to their front page. And then with that, normally people get the rest of their funding. So with that, we are pursuing all of our personal contacts. So we're email all of them. We just started a funder class, which is, if you don't know, it's this online platform that people sign up to join. And then on March 1st, when our Kickstarter launches,
their Facebooks or their Twitters will actually post about us without them even doing it. So they can like totally forget about it, but on that day it'll post for them. So that's one way for personal contact. As well, we're trying to get like the community involved. So today, well, next week we're going to be on the current on channel 3, so we're really excited about that. Just trying to find the people in the community who really care about it.
Why not have a campaign on Kickstarter and Indiegogo? Why just Kickstarter?
I think because we're targeting the same population either way, so it will be, instead of bombarding them with 2 different campaigns, I think it's just easier.
Of them, so doing 2 of them would be a lot. Yeah, we didn't really think about it honestly.
How
that's
did you
the other
fund
one.
these events that you've already had?
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
How did you fund the events that you've already had?
So our sessions are not free. Everyone pays $20, and you can sign up through Eventbrite. So that's how we get a lot of revenue. We are part of the iVenture Accelerator program as well, which is the University of Illinois and funding from that. And then we offered 2 free Black Girl sessions, and then of course grants, Kickstarters, anything you can get.
We've actually been revenue positive since COVID. So especially like just like definitely try to like do the business side really well.
I was going to ask you how your discipline tie into it. So, am I understanding? Are you guys for profit or not for profit? Okay, and so, which you mentioned that it costs money to do your events. So, who's your targeted population in terms of exposing that into that?
So we definitely want to drive diversity and have as many girls participate. The cost is really mostly to cover our costs. So our targeted population, we mostly focus on the public and private schools within Champaign-Urbana, as well as any like homeschooling communities that we can find. Just really anyone.
And I don't know, Alex, maybe you have, and I'll let you go ahead and respond. Both of you respond to that.
You mentioned you were in the economic major, so that's in business, and I'm just curious, what was your inspiration in terms of tackling diversity and training
So I first read Anne Marie Slaughter's article about why women can't cook at all in the 20th century. So, and that kind of started my like interest in like just there's not enough women in equality. So that's what started it. And then a couple summers ago, I worked at an accounting firm and I was doing CFO research. So I saw the lack of women. It's about like 13% of all C-suite positions are women. And being a woman who's going into business, that is like not what I wanted to see. So it's really like having leadership and women leadership and diversity as well. So like diversity numbers are definitely bad. So both of those really ignited my passion for it.
Yeah, so I am part of a STEM field. I'm a math major, and being an Indian woman in that major, like there's not a lot of us. So that was definitely an inspiration to get involved. And I think Maker Girl is something that it leaves a lasting impact on the community. It's different from a lot of the organizations we get involved with on campus, and that's why it's stick with it.
Have you looked into
Yeah, so we are looking into grants. We won the Innovate Her from the Champaign Economic Council. So that was one of them. We're applying to some other grants. One issue we have come across is with corporate like sponsorship grants is they want audited financials and a 990. So a 990 you get when you file your taxes and you have not filed your taxes yet. So we are an official 501c3, but our year end is June 30th. So we don't have that yet.
Since you guys are university, sorry, since you guys are university students and University of Illinois loves diversity and promoting, what has the university done for you guys to help push your project forward? Because you guys have obviously made an impact in the community. Have they reached out to advance the program, or what have they done themselves?
Awesome question. So our class or our organization actually came out of a social entrepreneurship class, social work 380 with Noah Itterman, a visiting professor, and Ryan Singh. So our idea actually came kind of out of the university. So that class really helped us with any sort of like kind of class consulting or any issues that we had. So that was the first stage of the class. And then the second stage was a roundtable class where we actually met every week and we talked about the issues that we had. And then the third stage of this pipeline is the Venture Accelerator. So with that, we got access to $10,000 as well as contacts, really amazing alumni and different contacts. So that's one thing they've done. We were nominated in the Innovation Celebration. So we didn't win, but that was a really great event. That was something that we were able to do. Actually, out of that, we got the TV interview. So if that didn't happen, TV interview. Yeah, the university has been super supportive. I met with a couple of deans, in the College of Business. Angie Bolter is on our board of advisors. She works in the College of Engineering. So yeah.
I'm just curious as to why you chose maybe 3D printing specifically in this format as opposed to something like coding. Is it something that like young kids are definitely more into, or why exactly did you choose that?
So I think there isn't a 3D printing program directed at young women yet. There is coding already, like Girls Who Code, and 3D printing is new. It's exciting. It's a growing technology, and it's just a lot easier to access, I believe.
So how do you think 3D printing in particular is going to bring girls in the STEM programs? Why 3D printing? I'm still not really clear about that. There could be a lot more to that, maybe math or teaching math in a fun way. That's not being done. That's not been implemented. Why 3D printing?
That's a really great question. So one of the things that we enforce in our curriculum, not enforce, but kind of increase in our curriculum is the design classes. So every session has a theme, whether I think this semester we had space, race, semester. But the girls come in, we talk about the theme of that session, and then they build their design from start to finish. They draw it out, they go on TinkerCAD, which is their software, and they design it. And I think being part of that design process is something that they all really enjoy, and if they're more involved with it rather than us just showing them.
I have an idea about cloud service or CAD. Now, I have a professor called Professor Brian Lilly, whose prime focus is teaching children in Africa how to draw, with CAD software. Because once you can draw, you can actually think of a product, and that's beautiful. So why not? Have you guys thought about building a cloud platform for these girls where they can just draw and build things on a CAD model, and that's beautiful. And that way you can expand your reach to girls not only in the States, but all throughout the world.
That is definitely a great idea. I think we're not quite there yet, but that was something we would definitely consider in the future, maybe after our tech project.
Too, I'm not sure, but I expect that you can use TinkerCAD anywhere in the world. So if you want to design another one, you can still use TinkerCAD. And yeah, as you said, we're not really there yet. And also, I think that I love the idea, but we're more focused on like actually printing and making sure that the girls have tangible products that they know that they can do. So some of the research with women of like why there's not more women in STEM fields is because they don't see the value in it for them. They don't see that they can actually make a difference. So we're really trying to have them like have a physical item to be like, oh, like I can really make something and this can actually impact the world. Now, this little truck might not, but you could build things that actually do. So that's part of it as well.
There there are several sites like MindSumo that provide you money for your CAD files. That will pay you money to if you have your CAD files, and you can submit that. And I think if you building a cloud platform should take less than 48 hours to do that, so it's not a lot of work. I'm saying that as a computer scientist. I mean, I can't build one from scratch, but there are a lot of APIs that you can just use to build something fast for CAD thing. Everything I just use cloud service for CAD design. What you could, maybe there could be a system where you have your service for CAD modeling, and you send all those models that girls all around the world make to companies like MindSumo and platforms there, wherein they win cash prizes for what they've designed. And the good thing about MindSumo is that it connects you with real companies like Intel. So and Intel is actually going to use a product a 7-year-old girl designed. And I don't think that's what's more motivating than that. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities in software-based solution, and not just a hardware and software-based solution. Just a suggestion.
We are always open to suggestions. We'll take anything.
Do you have any feedback for us? Or like what would make you more interested in supporting more women in STEM, or what would make a difference for you? Because this is not a one-sided issue. Like we need every single one of you in this room, even though you're not a woman, to help in this issue. Because like with research, they've said that teams that have women and that have diversity, they actually do better. So I would like to pose that question to all of you.
And I'm just hogging the mic. I love doing that. A friend of mine was working on building a statue of female Granger Bob, and I don't know how they got the funding for it. So I'm not sure. Maybe you could really talk to the university, because if they can get money to build a female Granger Bob, I'm sure they can find money to build to give you for someone who's actually really creating an impact at the very root level. And I think it's also very important to create a very comfortable situation for women in engineering and just colleges in general. So maybe get more professors and engineers to just go to public schools and talk why engineering, why engineering is awesome, why you should join engineering. Eric and I were a part of a high school program where we went to high school to promote engineering in general. And that's what we realized, that most people want to join engineering for the wrong reasons. It's about getting a job, or I'll make my parents proud. But no one's thinking about ideas like, hey, I actually want to create something that makes a difference in the world. Or let's find a feasible solution to this problem. And there are a lot of girls who are interested about this, but just don't see it from that viewpoint. Maybe giving it an artistic touch and getting professors to go along with you could help out.
That's the question. So as far as, I mean, it's obviously very early, but do you have anything in place to keep track of the girls who are involved in your program, if they do proceed to go into STEM careers or STEM field? And I guess a couple question. Where are the girls coming from exactly that are part of your program, and do you have anything to research?
That is also a great question. So at the beginning and end of our sessions, we have a survey, and it asks just general questions about what's your interest in STEM, what are your plans for the future, what are your ideal jobs. And we've seen a difference just between the beginning and the end of the survey. You can complete here. There's definitely an increase, and we haven't quite thought about yet, like if we're going to track them when they go off to college, or but yeah, we haven't quite thought of anything yet about how we're going to track them in the long term. future. It's a little bit more difficult, but we do like to keep up with them. A lot of the girls come back. We have a girl named Addie. Her dad's on our board of advisory, and she comes to every single session because she loves it so much. In terms of expansion, we're talking to a lot of other universities that have 3D labs already. It's a great way to get started, and we're just looking for student population that we want to invite our team. And we are hoping with the truck system as well that the places that we hit, we can transition as a permanent location as well.
Yeah, I was just wondering, as you guys are expanding, because I was in Noah's class last semester, I noticed you guys are kind of tackling it like school by school. Is that like your strategy going ahead, or are you guys gonna try to like build a curriculum and then like kind of package it and just give it to as many schools as possible, or how exactly are you gonna go about it?
So right now we have a sample curriculum that we send out to labs that are interested, and we're definitely trying to spread that out more. Again, with this spec, hopefully we can start to market that more. But we have like a sample session. So one of the labs that we're interested, actually, we send it to them. They tested it out for themselves, and they said, "Hey, this worked out really well," and so we want to keep going with it. So we don't just like throw things at them. We do have a sample curriculum for that.
You said you guys are not for profit, but would you have any plans in the future to create a commercialized version of this platform? Maybe to actually sell like lessons or that sort of stuff?
Yeah, we have thought about that. We've thought about, like packaging curriculum and selling it, or making like getting a maker girl kit. So it'd be an at-home curriculum. We haven't quite figured out the details for that yet. But that's a long-term project. Okay. Yeah, so deciding between a non-for-profit and an actual LLC or some sort of B Corp was like a really tough decision because I personally have kind of like a stigma around non-for-profits, like they're not profitable, which is like sometimes true and maybe not founded. So that was a really tough decision that we had in the beginning stages, and we went with a non-for-profit because we thought funding would be easier, and I definitely think it has been. We do have such a social purpose focus that it just kind of made more sense.
I'm just curious, like that going forward, are you guys gonna target different age groups, or are you sticking primarily with like, younger children?
Yeah, so I guess to answer that first, so why we're focusing on 7 to 10-year-olds is because it's a really critical age for girls, and their brains are developing a lot during that time, and they kind of become aware about what's actually going on more, and kind of like why they chose not to like math. It happens during the age 7 to 10 more frequently. So that's kind of why we're focusing on that. And then, yeah, I think we're definitely, we would like to expand our reach for sure. Right now, I think we just need more resources to make that happen.
So as a non-profit, if you decide to sell the company later on, it dissolves its assets to charities that you've chosen, right? So do you want to shed some light on the charities you've chosen?
Well, we have no plans to go out of business, so no, we have not. But if we had to, it would probably go to some other STEM-focused organizations, or maybe it might go to the iVenture Accelerator. Actually, it's not a nonprofit, so we can do that. But something along those lines, we'd want to support probably the university as well as
Sure.
that are STEM related.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask
Yeah.
as a purely exit strategy point of view.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so. Cool. Oh yeah, can we go back? Can we talk about it a little bit? Sorry. Yeah, so I want to go back to your analytics question because that is something that a lot of funders and people just want to know about, like, what's your actual impact? So it definitely is hard to tell because these girls are only 7. So what are they going to do years from now? So we're, as you said, we're doing surveys. So we're really trying to make it as data focused as possible so that people can actually see the results, not just like, you think this girl really likes it. So if it comes back up, if not, it's okay. But we are really trying to focus on that. And I think what's really great about what's going on currently with more women in STEM um, is that there's all these programs happening. So we're just one of them, and we want all the other ones to exceed just as much because we know that the more times girls think it's interesting, the more likely they'll do something. So like more like Legos are more focused towards boys, and like a lot of boys, even my brothers and myself, we grew up with playing with Legos. So those types of reinforcements from all directions are really useful. Sorry. Okay. Okay, thanks for the analytics.
I know it's difficult to put a metric to. Hi, I'm Will Goff. I'm a senior here at the university, majoring in political science and English, but I do design. So I took a big shift. That's just me. I know it's difficult to put a metric to impact, as you were saying. But at least in the interim, I know you might be open to suggestions, but I was just thinking testimonials. I know you're doing post sort of surveys after, but testimonials of these young girls is kind of it'd be a great way to personify the impact and really show what it's doing in their words too. You know what I'm saying? 7-year-old girls. I don't know if you're already doing that, but that could be an idea. And actually showing what they're making, right? I know it's difficult when you're showing people who want to invest their money into Maker Girl that they're making cool stuff and they want to see how that making cool stuff translates to impact, right? But even for the interim, that might be a great way to kind of show what's happening and to provide a visual. And I don't know if you already do that or not, but if these are possible suggestions. But there you go.
Yeah, no, I love that. So yeah, I think testimonials are awesome, and most of them are verbal. But so with our surveys that we originally had, they were written out. So we would ask them what they want to be, and they would write it. And actually, we have on our current sponsorship packet the actual handwritten notes on the front page. So it says like, what do you want to be? And it says engineer, lawyer/doctor. So testimonials are great. And one really fun story that we have is the girl Addie, who Manisha mentioned earlier. Her dad was like, oh, like, hey, little girl, like, what's going on or something. He said something about little girl. And Addie goes, Dad, I'm not your little girl anymore. I'm a maker girl, which is exactly what we want these girls to be thinking, because we do want them to be unstoppable forces that do take on challenges and that do kind of have a paradigm shift of who they are, and that they can actually identify themselves as an engineer, as a mathematician, as an accountant, as a CFO. We want those girls to think that, and they actually are. So thanks for that idea. Yeah.
Have you thought about creating a YouTube channel and interviewing these girls and getting a company to search engine optimize it and help it go viral? Because I think that would be creating an impact on a very big scale.
We do have a YouTube channel, and we haven't quite interviewed the girls yet. We do have some, we do have a Kickstarter video, and there are a few testimonials from them in that. And I believe we have another video where some of the girls from our sessions, they came and they talked about like what they learned and how awesome it was. But we haven't come up with like a routine interview process.
Yeah, like something like BuzzFeed, like an episode every month about the impact that you've created and just the girls that you've touched so far. I think will give a very emotional touch to it, and emotions are by definition contagious. And search engine optimization, yeah. So websites have something called search engine optimizations that you would be able to use metadata that's going into programming now to help boost your help Google pick up the Google scroller pick up your web page at a faster rate and show at a faster thing. Now the search engine of Google kind of changed it. They realized that people were using a lot of meta tags, and now it's search engine optimization is a field that continuously changes. But the good news is there are big companies like Viralot, uh, like there are a lot of people on Fiverr that can help you optimize your video and have the particular tags attached to your YouTube channel blog about it, write blogs about it, and optimize it in such a way that it reaches your target audience at the fastest rate. Now, Viral Lot, I think, guarantees 5,000 new views to targeted audiences for a nominal fee of $100. I mean, this is only for companies. You cannot create a personal video and be like, "Hey, who's that?" That's not what they do. It's professionally what they do for companies. So that's something that you should look into. And if you can get your YouTube channel out there, then that's big.
We will be looking into that. I think Julia's doing it right now.
And if you need any help with Viral Lot, I know a lot of people there. Feel free to send me a mail.
So Alvarez, I want you to get in on here because let's talk about Maker Girl and the Ghetto Genius Fab Lab. And should we be making some connections with them, maybe to come over and do a session and kind of show their work? Talk a little bit about the Ghetto Genius Fab Lab and how that would factor in. Need this mic? Why don't you just take this mic?
Yeah, I might. Let's see.
You sound good.
Okay. Yeah, we're up. So the Ghetto Genius Fab Lab, so we were there last night.
Who are you?
So I'm Alvarez Dixon, and I'm an extension educator. I work with youth development, 4-H, and we essentially create programs. We create opportunities for young people to engage in hands-on learning and life skills development, and we do that through providing access to adults that care about young people that have expertise and interest and curiosity, as well as providing the equipment that's needed to create those kinds of experiences. So the Ghetto Genius Fab Lab is one of those kinds of experiences. And what we've done is we've created a maker space or Fab Lab space that is designed for youth and young people. You'll be able to see some of the clips of what we've got going on real soon. But it's a space that we've invited some young people in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. Last night they came over. We had a fantastic time introducing them to the space and talking about some of the things that they'll be able to do in that space. So we have a variety of tools that they'll have access to, such as silhouette cutters, digital embroidery machines, 3D printers, soldering irons, lots of builder equipment, maker, DIY kinds of equipment. We've got bench tops that they can begin to work on as well. That's a space where we let the young people know we have 4 So what we're going to be doing is interfacing with those young people. And there are some opportunities, I think, for Maker Girl and the representatives.
Yeah, here. Why don't you take my mic? Because that just died out.
I think there are going to be some opportunities for Maker Girl to collaborate. I mean, we've talked before, and so we've been kind of looking for those opportunities and kind of where they fit. And now, I think at the first time we spoke, we were just in the beginning phases of putting that space together. Now we're getting that space together, and so I think there's some opportunities for us to be able to do some co-located workshops and things like that. And especially with the Ghetto Genius Fab Lab, now that we have young people that are coming in to that space, we'll be able to do something with that. So we're looking forward to being able to ramp that space up, and the momentum is definitely building.
I had one more question, like from what you said. No, when you were saying something, something just clicked, and I had another suggestion for them as well. There's something called Fisher Tech that Alvarez told me of. Is that, am I pronouncing that right? Fisher Technic. Now, Fisher Technic is a tool like Lego, but it's not. It's used in actual construction companies, like to actually build models, like actual life-size models. They're a lot cheaper than 3D printers and a lot more accessible to a lot of people in the world. Why not create a stage or an event where you help girls build things using Fisher Tech? because 3D printers is a relatively new thing and it's going to take some time, say 5 to 10 years, to get all around the world. And why only get women in STEM in America when you can do this for the entire world? And even in parts of America, 3D printing is it's going to take a lot of time to get there. So Fisher Tech is something that's already been there for a decade, for around a decade. People are a lot more familiar with it. There are a lot more resources to help people, to guide them how to build things with it. Maybe you could leverage that.
Yeah, so I think something we will definitely look into that resource, number one. And number two, you mentioned that 3D printing is going to take a while to catch on, which I totally agree. I mean, they're expensive. I think the printers in the Fab Lab are like $3,000 each. So they are expensive. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing our truck, because we know that it's not going to be there for a while, the resources. So we're actually going to bring the resources to those communities, even if it's just for a day. They'll learn how to 3D print, and then they can go on to Tinkercad and then have some other service print it to bring that back. So.
Yeah, I was just saw this on Reddit the other day. It's like a 3D printer from Mattel to print your own toys. I'm just like curious if you're gonna integrate like other types of 3D printers into the program.
Yeah, that was another point that I was going to bring up that I just forgot. So thank you for bringing that up. Yes, so Mattel is designing a 3D printer that's going to cost about $300, which brings the cost way down. And yeah, I think we definitely would use different types of printers. We used to have MakerBots in the printing lab as well. I think our main focus with MakerGirl is we really want to keep it 3D. So no matter how that's done, we kind of want to stay with that. So we're doing a virtual reality, which is bringing visuals 3D. And then we've also bought the pens that you can like literally draw, and it like it doesn't freeze, but it like sets. So you can draw in 3D. So definitely we are bringing different types of 3D resources to these girls.
You just mentioned something I think is exciting to see. There's some potential there. Mattel. So Mattel, you said, is coming out with a printer, right? And if you think about Mattel, particularly for those of us growing up hip-hop style in the early 70s, Mattel had, like, when you think about Play-Doh and the Play-Doh factory, right? That was an early version of, like, Maker stuff, right? But we're using Play-Doh. And so now with the advances in technology, it's 3D printing, right? So that was an earlier form of that within that particular context. But relevancy is going to be important. There's this phase of the class, we're going to get into what our reads are, and I think the question that I'm going to pose to you that I think will tie into that, and this is for all you all to be thinking about this because it's on this list. It's called Truth, Opportunity, Impact, and Impact, the intended and unintended outcomes of entrepreneurial ventures. So talk a little bit about in those areas, and when I think about Mattel, I just think about that you guys are going to be out there in the field authenticating this work. And I think it'd be worth you attempting to have a conversation with them about what you're doing early on to maybe be the agent that could be out in the field, have them pay for your vehicle. Yeah. You guys are U of I students. Y'all ain't no slouches. They may want to, talk to you about how do we get this out and make it popular, right? But let's talk about truth, opportunity, impact, okay? Intended and unintended outcomes of your venture. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I love those 3 words. I think they have a lot of significance, no matter which context you're in. So I think unintended and intended consequences. So this came out of a class in my senior year fall. And I had no idea that MakerGirl would be anything like it is now. It's exceeded every expectation that I've had. Never did I dream that I would really found a 501c3, let alone impact almost 500 girls, have a 22-person team. So that was totally an unintended outcome. But that was also really founded in a lot of intentions that I did have. I'm really passionate about what I do. And so if I decide that it's going to happen, it most likely is going to happen. And I think you'll find that with our teammates, I'm very like meticulous, and I will remind people so many times because I know it's critical and it's important. And I think with being an entrepreneur or doing whatever you love, you really have to have that like extra push every day. And sometimes it's not there. And I've definitely gone in waves with that. Um, but having a team that actually like really enjoys what they're doing and will pick up the slack when I'm not there is really awesome and will make whatever needs to be done happen.
I mean, I think it's a lot of personal growth as well. I think when I joined Maker Girl, I was like, oh, it'll be something I'll do for a summer. And I ended up loving it. And I learned a lot about myself along the way. Like when I first joined, I was like, oh, I'm going to go to grad school. I don't really know what I'm going to do. And now I'm like, I want my own startup. I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to make a difference. And I definitely think that came about out of Maker Girl for me.
Uh, this might digress, but then I'm sorry, I got another idea. My counterclaim to the 3D printing idea was the Fisher Tech. So you said that girls can, you have that truck where you have a 3D printer and you can keep girls have something hard that they made, and then they can use services like Tinkercad to get something done, to get something hard in their hands again. Uh, However, if you used Fisher Tech, you could maybe have a event where you just taught them how to use Fisher Tech. Now they just have to buy one uh, board Lego thing, and then they can build as many devices, as many models as they want, free of cost. So yeah, you should involve Fisher Tech next.
All right, sounds good.
And Legos.
Yeah, no, I think going off of that a little bit too is we're trying to partner with companies and trying to create what they want that parallels what we're trying to do. So, like if we wanted to partner with On the Runway, which is like a tech fashion company, we would figure out like how 3D printing can impact their company and teach a Rent the Runway session with these girls. So they actually, number one, they're learning about the company, they're learning about 3D printing and how it can actually affect a specific company, and the company gets girls interested in their company and their brand at age 7.
So being in a hip hop class, competition has always been a thing, big in hip hop as well as in tech, trying to get the newest thing out, being number one there. Have you guys? Because you said you had a girl that was attending multiple classes. I'm assuming her skill level has gone up since she became the first class. Have you thrown the idea of her entering a competition, using you guys sort of as a sponsor to propel her forward, to sort of give her like, oh, I am good at this, and I just won a competition first prize and got a couple grand, and now I want to keep getting build higher and higher. Promoting that a little bit more in your guys' process.
Yeah, so we actually have done that. So Infosys Makers, they had on February 1st, they had an entry, and you could either enter as like a younger person. So we actually suggested this girl enter, and I guess like one of her random whimsical fun 7-year-old can have is that she wants like a physical arm over her bed. So I guess they entered. I don't really understand it fully, but that's just what she wants. So she actually entered that idea into the contest. So yeah, definitely we want these girls to pursue other opportunities. And that's what it's great about getting other people aware about it, because once if you hear about something that's like, oh, that little girl who knows how to 3D print could totally enter this, and then you send it to me and we get it to those girls. So I think with that too, in the like more globalized world, it's really cool because at a younger age, all of these people are doing so much cooler things that people 10 years ago did not have because they didn't have access to internet. So yeah.
So we went to the CU Fab Lab a few weeks ago, and they had these things called Little Bits. Have you heard of those? So they're little electronic circuits that you just connect them, and then they work without any like knowledge. This would be a good way to introduce girls to electronics.
For those just checking in the in Ghetto Genius Studios with us tonight is Maker Girl. And Austin Curry just joined us from from Ford. And so he is an engineer at Ford, understands distribution and a whole bunch. Austin, if can you hear us? If you have any questions for Maker Girl, please jump in, and I want y'all a little bit trying to just again talk a little bit about what you do, so you can kind of get.
Hey, can you guys hear me there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Cool.
can you hear this one?
Okay, go ahead and finish. Eric, you were explaining something.
So yeah, I just think it'd be a very good way to introduce these girls to circuits, because circuits are a very complicated thing to get into if you don't have like experience in electrical engineering. And these are just, you really like attach them together, they snap. I think I have magnets or something, and just had a couple of sets of those. You could have them play around with them.
Also, why limit the scope of the entire project to 3D printing? There are several ways to help girls learn skills to build rapid prototypes, with cardboards, with Legos, with Fisher Tech, with just about anything. So their progress doesn't stop. Once they see that they can build something hard, and it works, and something that they can actually touch and feel, uh, they can just build more prototypes at home, which they can't with 3D printers without paying money.
So that's a really great question, and one that I think we grapple with a lot. So I think with any sort of entrepreneurship, you kind of seize the opportunities you have, and that's where the most successful companies come from. So we had the first 3D printing lab in a business school. So that was a huge opportunity, and not many people have that. So that was one of the original reasons why we started with 3D printing. And I think one of why we've kept with it is because 3D printing is so cool, and it's just growing so rapidly. And as I said, we are trying to bring in other 3D printing or other 3D resources, but we want to be the leading 3D like education service for girls. So we can't do everything, and I think it'd be bad if we did. And there's other companies that are doing coding really well, like Black women who code, and girls who code, and all different STEM initiatives. So I think that's kind of why we're focusing and narrowing our scope.
Questions for Maker Girl? All right, y'all. Well, that's what's up.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Cool. So we're moving into our class discussion. You're more than welcome to stay, or we will catch up with y'all, and we'll do with the Ghetto Genius Fab Lab and do that. But you're more than welcome to chill out with us if you want.
Cool. Yeah, we have a meeting at 7, so we're going to run. But thank
Cool.
you all for your time, and any other suggestions, I will send you my email so that you can share it with
I'm so
everyone.
glad y'all came through. Alvarez, you got any questions for them? Angie, anybody?
But
Anybody online got any questions for Maker Girl? All right, all right. All right, we're going to get ready. At 7 o'clock, we're going to have Anthony Frazier from the Fat Startup. I've been talking a lot about them in class. We're going to be logging on with them here shortly. Why don't y'all, if you want to get something to drink, coffee, juice, water, take your bag off, Will, all that, make yourself comfortable. We'll be good to go. All right. Eric, you can go ahead and play us a little music while we figure out some minor technical things, and we'll be ready to bounce. How we sound out there, Austin and Jordan?
It's coming through clear now. I had to grab some headphones, but I think we're all set.
Okay. All right. So we got 5 minutes, and we're going to jump into this conversation about the syllabus, what's on the syllabus. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's bring that music down, Eric, and let's get down to some conversations. All right. All right. So we're going to take some time to talk a little bit about the readings. But let's talk about your blogging because we're still struggling with that, I see. And so how do we resolve that? Because as I said, we thought it's more important that we create a record for the content. And I don't want, because you guys are entrepreneurs, you got a lot of things going on. So we need to make certain that we're getting this information documented because that's the only way I can gauge and know what you know. Okay, and so how do we need to do that? Alvarez had a suggestion, and I don't know if we can do this, is if you're doing a video post response. If writing is the issue and y'all on the move, hey, you need to comment within the context of the questions and the readings. But if you want to do that while you're on the move, I don't have a problem with that. Here's what I'm concerned with. If you don't get this thing under wraps, when it's time to do your grading, y'all gonna get hit by not making that, and y'all should not get hit with that. You shouldn't. Don't let your scheduling get you caught up. Okay. So I'm open for suggestions. How we do that? Ash, you have some comment? Okay. I think the blog page will allow that. Yeah. I think we can upload. I think you can upload that, if I'm not mistaken. Well, why don't y'all pull it up now and see? Let's see. Let's work on that right now to see if we can do that, so we know that works. Will Golf, you about to say something? Okay. Sure. Okay. 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 So, but when do you want to get that in? Because I still fear that even though we might work it out, it's about time. And are you going to get it in? That's that. On your syllabus, you're supposed to have it in by 5 o'clock on Sundays. I'll post my question by 5 o'clock on Friday, so at least you know it's there by Friday, okay? But it's due by 5 o'clock on Sunday. Yes. My only concern is that it pushes me to not be able to get a chance to read your stuff. And so I don't want to get into the first part of the week because I'm doing class readings, then trying to read all of y'all stuff and factor all of that in, because I like to comment on your things as I'm reading. So I just want to have enough time to read it and kind of go away. Yes, I can do. I can change it. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, so what are you thinking? So you're saying all that to say what? What do you need? Okay. So if I post my question by 5 o'clock on Thursday, will that work for y'all? Okay. 5 o'clock on Thursday, we with that? Okay, that's cool. So I'm going to modify the syllabus that I'll have my question posted by Thursday, and you'll have yours in by Sunday by 5. Okay. All right, cool. All right, let's talk about truth. Let's talk about the readings. Let me pull my stuff up here. And in the meantime, while we're doing that, why don't you guys on your websites pull up the Fat Startup, thefatstartup.com. Let's get that up and start perusing that so you're familiar with it, and you'll have questions and things ready and available for Anthony when he kicks in with us. Okay, the Fat, P-H-A-T, Fat Startup. Okay, P-H-A-T, all one word, Fat, the Fat Startup. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about diversification of hip hop, okay, and non-traditional ventures getting into the hip hop game. That's really what this particular piece of our discussion is going to be about. Okay, so this is. Truth, opportunity, and impact, the intended and unintended outcomes of entrepreneurial ventures, right? Okay, and so we're into this whole piece. You got your books? You need to pull it up, so be it. If you don't have it, I have mine. But I do want to hear, and then we'll also talk about this idea of genius too, right? But let's talk about the readings. And who wants to open this up in regards to the non-traditional ventures that got into the hip hop game? The floor is open. Yeah, absolutely.
I guess what I sort of saw is the whole culture really was. I guess I'll start first with like some of the DJs who worked in like the clubs, right?
Right.
So I would say those guys were just people who were passionate about the music, about the culture, and then they realized that once they saw people were like dancing and like singing along to the things they were doing, that's when like the club owners and stuff were like, oh, we gotta have the hottest DJ at a club if we want to have people coming in to dance on the weekends or whatever. And then you even see with like a Grandmaster Flash type of person who does it on the streets because he can't even afford to go to the clubs. Like even that was almost the people who became like those name brands. They didn't even mean to get into it really. They were just doing it for fun. And it was the people who owned the clubs who wanted to come and employ them. So I thought that was kind of an interesting point about entrepreneurial spirit wasn't really at the heart of hip hop at the beginning. It was more just for the artistry of everything. But when people saw how the young people were following these artists, that's kind of when it became an entrepreneurial venture.
Exactly. So you're talking about so business folks really began seeing it from a business perspective, while the instigators and the creators of the art were really, would we say, happy to be performing and happy to be recognized? Is that safe to say? Eric?
I'd say that they were happy to express themselves. I think that it started as a form of expression, that they were able to go and talk about these meaningful topics to them, like find a way to like express themselves via music. And then, as he said, the business opportunity came out of that. When people started to realize, oh, people are actually really into this. Like this is the next hot thing. This is what's going to come on.
Dak, you're contemplating. It seems like you got something on your mind. Okay. And you got some reading to do. It looks like all y'all got some reading to do because y'all awfully quiet. But let's talk a little bit about, I'm going to help you along here. So I'm talking about non-traditional ventures. thing that y'all really looking at. Oh, right here. Yep. Yep. Is your mic on?
Testing? Okay. Because you talked about non-traditional ventures. Early on, it talked about how, I don't remember the exact name, like the little girl and the little boy that wanted money, and so they knew that they could DJ in their local basement.
Yeah.
And they did that for money, and that was really awesome that they saw that people like the music, they like the place they can go dance. Like, all right, we have a basement, and then that turned a basement into other building that was a little bit larger. That way they could have more people in it. And so I found that pretty cool, considering that they were just like a little bit younger than I was when they determined that that was actually a possibility to make money.
So they're still saying we need to bring the mics up some more. Okay, cool. All right. Who wants to add to that?
Yeah, I just thought it was really interesting how even like from the very beginning, it kind of started off like purely as an entrepreneurial like venture in the sense that the reason it became popular was because that they saw the money within the art itself, and that's why it kind of just supplanted disco so quickly. Just in that, like they were mentioning in the book, it allowed the club owners to start making money off people getting into the door instead of just focusing on like selling drinks or selling food and things like that.
Sure.
So I think it was pretty interesting how it was completely driven by sort of like the economic incentive.
Doc, non-traditional ventures with respect to hip hop or with respect to business ventures in general?
Business ventures in general within the context of hip hop, because we're talking about what I'm interested in gleaning out of this is in the readings, it's talking about the corporations that got into the hip hop game that were not music based. And so that's where we're making the connections. And that's why I say truth and hold on, let me pull my stuff up.
Well,
go ahead, Will.
Would you consider Adidas sponsorship of Run DMC as an avenue that promoted the band's way to have a non-traditional venture, fashion?
Okay.
I mean, I was asking you,
No,
would you consider that
no,
to
say,
be...
say your question again.
Would you consider Adidas sponsorship of Run DMC as a non-traditional way of, allowing the group to make money, to have a stake in the company?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'd say that. That'd be my example then. So now I got some clarity about what you meant. So I think Adidas would be a great example.
Okay. Well, why do you think Adidas got into the hip hop game?
I mean, they recognized the marketing power of Run DMC. I think so. I mean, they understood youth culture. They understood that Run DMC had something going on. I think the implementation of those hard rock synths, Russell and Rick's collaboration. I think they also had the Beastie Boys, correct? Mm-hmm. And the Beastie Boys had a very different demographic pull and grab, right? They had the white boys and the white girls going crazy, and then Run DMC captured a large black population. So together they understood it was a smart business move. They got Run DMC under the belt, and they had a very, very diverse demographic, and so they used it for marketing, right? And they understood that.
Well, and you're right in terms of the addition of the Beastie Boys being in the game. But one of the most significant things was the Fresh Fest tour that was happening, during that time period, and it's almost like it was hip hop arena rock.
Okay, Dr. P, can I hop in for a second there?
30,000. And they come to see. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, Austin, where are you at?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to piggyback off of what he said. The marketability factor is really attributed to artists creating something and generating a following. So companies want to sell to a quote-unquote tribe, and a tribe is just a group of people with common interests. So if you have 50,000 fans and we all like to listen to Run DMC, we're a tribe of people, and then we all see them wearing Adidas, and now we all want to rock, my Adidas and wear fedoras and whatnot. So any type of artistry or any type of cool, that's kind of the essence of what, in my mind, the class is about. You're creating a cool, you're generating a following, and then you're selling, and then you're marketing and selling that tribe rather than having some huge big brother corporation come in and buy it and sell it and not cut you in on the profit.
I'm into what Austin said.
Yeah, I think you made a really good point. It's in that they kind of piggybacked off of the popularity of hip hop in order to market things that they were already selling. It's not like they were developing new products for the specific communities that were listening to hip hop. And uh, like you said, they were really just piggybacking off the marketability. And I think if other people who identified with the culture and actually built the products that a lot of people in the hip hop community were using, so like let's say like turntables, if they were actually being manufactured by you know, cities or inner city factories or things like that, maybe they could have actually profited off the explosion of, you know, audio equipment and production equipment instead of some random manufacturer in like Europe or Japan or something.
Keep it going. Oh, yeah, and make sure you're saying that because people need to know who you are.
All right, it's Yanis. When you were talking about clothing and the impact that hip hop had with clothing, you can also take it to sports in terms of how things were handled. Because I was watching the Fab Five, the ESPN special, like probably a year ago. My favorite documentary, by the way, by ESPN, and they talked about how they were listening to hip hop music and they wanted to wear baggier clothes because they didn't want to wear the tight fitting shorts that basketball players used to wear. They wanted to wear the baggy clothes like Michael Jordan, the lengthier shorts. They were listening to Run DMC. They're listening to NWA. All these rap artists, they were influenced by the streets themselves in terms of hip hop. And so hip hop didn't just have an impact on the clothing, but also on how things were handled in sports and everything like that as well.
All right, going off of that, this is something I shared a little bit with Dr. P earlier, but I don't know, have you gotten to see that Chris Rock video yet?
I have not watched the Chris Rock video yet, but I'm going to watch it. I'm sorry, Zach. I know you want it. But go ahead.
That's okay. But kind of going off of that, in a little bit the opposite direction with baseball. Chris Rock talks about how like black people don't think baseball's cool, and it doesn't have that like marketability factor that like the NFL or the NBA has nowadays. I mean, and so like he talks about back in the '80s when he would watch the Mets. I mean, they had like 4 or 5 like black baseball players that were the stars of the team back then, and nowadays there's like maybe 1 or 2 on a team. A couple years ago, I want to say the 2 World Series teams didn't even have any black people on their team, and he goes into, you know, like why that is. He's like, it's not the money. I mean, why would if money was the issue, then why would black people be walking around with their Beats headphones and their Jordans on their feet and that sort of stuff? And it's really just that it's like old-fashioned rules, and black people don't like looking back. They want to look at the next, and that's what hip hop is all about. We talked about that, and obviously, I mean, like, look at black culture in America. It's not good if you go backwards. It's only good if you go forwards. So the fact that baseball is old-fashioned, trying to stay, you know, the same sport it was when it was invented in the 1800s, you know.
So basically you're saying baseball's trying to stay almost lily white. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, well, you go ahead and say that. I mean, you go on and stand on it if you're going to say it. And see, so because we're talking about if we know that we've seen other professional sports organizations thrive because they've embraced within this particular context hip hop culture. I mean, think about all the flack that Cam Newton has gotten, and with just this more recent with the Super Bowl, right? And a lot of that stuff had to do with him being a hip hop generation. That's what they kept talking about. He's of a different generation, and he's this. Why is he wearing his shoes this way? I mean, it's this issue of conformity that we're talking about, and hip hop is not about conformity, right? It's about setting trends and breaking trends and not conforming, right? And baseball, I think, basically what you're saying wants folks to conform. If you do it our way, this way, then you can play the game, or we'll let you in. But Will had a question.
Well, he answered my question, but I had more of a statement, right? I think if we talk about non-traditional ventures, we need to take a look at, I say things post-90s, right? And the reason why is because then I start thinking about 50 Cent and his sponsorship by Vitamin Water. Why? It's because 50 Cent had a particular aesthetic. He was muscular, so he represented what fit and healthy looked like. And so there was an opportunity for him to make some bread. I started thinking about Pimp My Ride with Exhibit and the host of Black engineers on that television show sponsored by MTV. And what you got there is folks making and creating and using hip hop culture to do something cool. I'm thinking of liquor companies, right? Because when you think about cool, you think about being at the scene. And what's at the scene? Usually the party. The party's always been the core of a lot of things, especially when it comes to hip hop culture, right? So let's put it in context. And liquor, Jay-Z was sponsored by Cristal before they made their comment. And now I don't forget the liquor brand that's currently sponsored. What is it called? His current liquor brand that he, Ace of Spades, right? And he's not the first. Diddy has a liquor brand behind him, Ciroc. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about non-traditional ventures, I really think post 90s because, well, maybe that's just my frame of reference because I grew up in the 2000s, but I don't remember or recall, and Doc, you can come in and chime, and Alvarez, if you have a better understanding about some of the non-traditional ventures that happened during the 90s or the 80s, but I typically think fashion and everything after that, then I start seeing a lot of innovation. Now we start seeing, and maybe hip hop's hitting like it's growing now. Maybe it's being augmented more than ever. Yeah.
Cool.
50 Cent has one too.
Right, yes. All right, one other question, then we're going to invite and see if Anthony Frazier's on here. Invite him into the talk. We're about 5 minutes out before he's scheduled to join us. Go ahead.
It was more just a comment off, or to piggyback off what he said about baseball being mostly a white sport. And it was a lyric by Jay-Z in one of his songs about how he makes a Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can. Because he was like his thing, that's his trademark thing. He in the Black Album, he has the hat on, the Black Yankee hat, and everybody loved it and went crazy over it. That also goes off what you said about how fashion was a big impact in the 90s by hip hop itself. And so I find it still interesting today that baseball wants to stay a quote unquote white sport, but so much of like baseball caps in general are bought by a lot of people in the Black community. So it's just really interesting to see that they want to stay on one end of it.
And to keep going along this thread of non-traditional ventures, I'm sorry, guys. Kanye West this is his third time at New York Fashion Week, right? So I think when I think about fashion and I think about hip hop, you sometimes think of urban wear, and it's natural. I think of brands like FUBU. I think of Jay-Z's Rocawear. But we don't think about high fashion and going into those arenas. And this is Kanye's third time, his third line. And so I think hip hop provided him a platform to kind of infiltrate that space. And it was huge, it's big. To get a chance to be a part of New York Fashion Week, it's a pretty big thing for anyone, but especially for someone hailing from the south side of Chicago, especially someone as controversial as Kanye. And I also think Jay-Z infiltrating the MoMA, right, doing a music video there, using his platform as an artist to promote high-end art. You know, it's Pablo this, Pablo Picasso this, Basquiat that, even though Basquiat, you know, has roots in hip-hop. But I think now he's being given the credit that he deserves in terms of, in terms of you know, being an artist. So I think of those two in particular, like Kanye infiltrating high-end fashion and Jay-Z using that platform to promote high-end art, and they've really leveraged their position to do some non-traditional things with hip-hop. So,
excellent. One more statement, and then we're gonna pull Anthony Frazier in.
Yeah, just going off what you were saying, I just think it's really interesting how hip hop is like the one genre, probably more so than any other musical genre, where you kind of have to be an entrepreneur and you have to have all these other ventures because you can't make money doing the music alone anymore. So what they've figured out, what rappers I think have figured out more so than any other genre of artists, is that you kind of have to market yourself in virtually everything except music. And like even you were mentioning Kanye, he's not really focused on the music, he's kind of doing fashion. And he still uses the music as a way of marketing his fashion more so now, because that's what he's more concerned about. And I guess the thing I think we have to change about the narrative is like, why would Kanye West have to go to an Adidas and not just open up his own line and do something like that? Because like he's a fashion icon. If you told me Kanye West open up a clothing store, I'm gonna go and buy a Kanye West shirt. So it's just like, why does Kanye feel he has to go out and get an Adidas to do the clothing line when he could easily do it himself and be a lot more marketable and profitable doing it that way?
Word. All right. All right. So right now, we're at the top of the hour. We're at 7 o'clock, and this is the time for the Ghetto Genius Hack. And we're hacking today a company called the Fat Startup, and we have one of the co-founders on the line. And I think is Anthony, is he live and is he checked in? Wanda's on. And are we able to get Anthony yet, or is he still struggling to get in? Okay, he's not in yet.
Hey, Will, it's Wanda.
Hey, Wanda.
Hey, hi guys.
Y'all gonna have to get. She calling all the way from California. Y'all better give her some.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I don't know where Anthony. Did he accept the invite?
Yeah. Go ahead, Alvarez. Alvarez, you said he accepted the invite. He hasn't come in yet.
Okay, turn your volume up just a little, or turn something up just a little, cause it's a little hard to hear you. Can you turn the volume or mic up, or?
You hear my mic? Cause yeah.
I can hear your mic. I couldn't hear anyone else.
All the students, when they talk, they'll have to grab us. We'll just make sure their mic is hotter.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see. Let me try to see what's going on with Anthony. Hold the line.
And in the meantime, y'all pull up the Fat Startup website. That's just run the monitor. Bring the monitors down.
Actually, well, have them pull up Fast Startup and AnthonyFrazier.com. I sent you all the links.
Okay. So, in Alvarez, I think it's in that in that email I just sent you. She sent a link of the items she wants us to pull up.
I sent you the link to the Anthony Frazier Man podcast. So he said he never got the invite. Alvarez, can you send it to him again at Anthonyfrazier.com?
Yeah, we'll send it again. Wanda, Alvarez can hear you. Go ahead and tell him what you want him to pull up.
Anthony at AnthonyFrazier.com.
Okay, so we've sent that.
That's and AnthonyFrazier.com is the website. TheFatStartup.com is also the website. The iTunes, SoundCloud is Anthony Frazier.
F-R-A-I-S-E-R. Microphones. You guys, your mic, one of these mics is looping that speaker.
Hold on, Anthony's calling me now. Hello.
We got a mic close over here because I think the speaker's here. Wait, yep. Okay. Hustle and luck.
Anthony's saying send it to ABF, Anthony at ABF.com. Maybe that might work different. What? ABFmedia.com. Anthony. ABFmedia@gmail.com. Try that one.
Say again, Wanda, so he can hear you.
ABFmedia@gmail.com. Maybe that might work. I don't know what's going on with the Anthony Frazier one. ABFmedia@gmail.com.
How's the weather out there, Wanda? We're jealous.
You got it? Did you get it, Anthony?
Wanda. Okay.
He said he still didn't get it. A Apple Boy F Media at gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah. Wanda, why don't you text me the Gmail and the ADF and the ABF? I can't just make sure that we got it clear. There it is. We see it. ABF Media at Gmail.
Right.
A is in Apple, B is in boy, F is in Frank.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay, see if that gets it.
Is there a link? They should be able to email a direct join-in link.
He wants to know if you can just send him the direct join in link.
Okay. All right, we're working on that.
Every Google Hangout has the direct link.
Yeah, we're gonna send it to you.
Nothing yet for you, Anthony? You still didn't get it?
Working on it now. About to send them the link.
Nah, it's just not here on either email. I'm not sure what went down.
Yeah, we're sending the link to ABF Media.
Wanda, send me whatever link you got. Send me the link that you on right now. Email it to me.
All right. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
We just sent the email to Anthony with the link.
I sent it.
I think I'm in there.
I don't see you yet.
He's in the Hangout now. He just needs to press the video chat.
Yeah, click the video chat, Anthony. All right.
There it is.
All right. All right. Listen up, you guys. Okay, so we got Anthony Frazier. Let's get him on. Let's get him up.
There you go. Perfect.
Yep. What's going on, Anthony?
What's going on, man? Am I coming up? Am I coming out clear enough?
Hey, you sound real good. We got to try to get your picture up here. Albert, can we get it? Hold on one second. We're trying to get your picture so we can see you. All right. Yeah. All right. There we go. We got you. Can you see us, bro? Okay.
Yeah, I can see you.
All right. What it do?
What's going on, man?
I can't call it, man. Welcome to Hip Hop Entrepreneurship at the University of Illinois. We're getting down in Cafe Pixel, which we've now deemed Ghetto Genius Studio. You feel me?
All right. It looks it looks dope in there. Is that graffiti on the wall?
Yeah, you already know.
Okay.
Right. Hey, welcome, man. And let's take some time. I want the students to introduce themselves, go around the table and introduce themselves. And then we'll look back around to you, and we'll get this thing popping. As well as the folks that are online, y'all can kind of check in too, so everybody kind of know who's up in the mix. All right? Eric, here, let me get you a microphone.
So more?
Yeah. Oh, you good? Go ahead. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So I'm Eric Yates. I am a senior mechanical engineering. I am not quite on the screen. Fix that. So yeah, I am really interested in entrepreneurship and want to see what hip hop has to offer.
Hey, my name is Ashu. I'm a senior in computer science, and I just like the intersection of art and technology. And I think this class teaches us how technology can better intersect with art. And that's what I'm thinking.
My name is Zach. I'm a senior in computer science, and one of my friends, also in computer science, are working on building an app. We're sort of swing it into a startup, and this class is sort of one of the ways we've decided to branch out and sort of learn about the different aspects of entrepreneurship. Is that something that's nice?
Hi, I'm Hulum Burhan. I'm studying IT and accounting. I'm a senior. I'm working on a fitness app. Trying to get like funding and go through all the trials of entrepreneurship. I definitely want to see how hip hop and how to incorporate creativity into the entrepreneurial process.
My name is Will Goff. I'm a super senior. I majored in political science and English, but now I design. I do primarily graphic design. I consider myself to be a product of hip hop culture and hip hop aficionado, and I'm also entrepreneurial. I think there's a way to blend humanities and tech, and so that's what I'm doing.
My name is Yanis. I'm a senior studying biology. Um, I was raised basically off hip hop in terms of my siblings. That's what I listen to in the car. Eminem, Beastie Boys, DMX, anything in the spectrum. Um, I also do a little bit of designing, probably not as good as his because I've seen his work and it's pretty stellar. So I'm working to get up to his level.
Folks online, why don't you introduce yourselves, Anthony Frazier?
My name is Austin Curry. I'm an engineer at Ford Motor Company, living in the Chicago area. Lover of hip hop and entrepreneurship, so I'm getting involved and helping out Dr. Patterson with his class.
Yo, y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, my name is Jordan, also go by the name William Gold, artist, composer, lyricist. Reigning up in Naperville, Illinois currently, from Champaign, Urbana though, and I'm just tuning in and listening to the discussion.
I think so. All right. All right, Anthony, where you at, bro?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We got
Okay,
you.
cool.
All right, tell us about Anthony Frazier.
Oh man, where do I start? I'm just a kid from Newark, New Jersey. Just pretty much one of those guys who just liked video games as a kid, and um, I just wanted to figure out ways to make that into a career. And that's pretty much how I started to just get into the tech industry a little bit. And I'm pretty much a tech entrepreneur. Been a tech entrepreneur for about 8 years now. Um, Media as well. And so I'm here to just talk a little bit about how I've been able to bridge the gap between hip hop and entrepreneurship.
Word up, word up. One of the things that we talked about, Anthony, and Wanda and I, we were talking about this, and you as I have touch base, is using today's session to do a meet and greet, and to kind of just learn about each other a little bit, and get more into the nuts and bolts of the possibilities of where we can take this in terms of building this venture. I shared with Wanda, the class itself is what I call a tech startup. I mean, we're building this thing as we go. So getting the technology with us today, we're working all that out and working on it in detail. Brought the sound system in today. So we're really trying to put some legs on this thing and kind of bootstrap it as we go, if you feel me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the things that we talked about, and I'd like to definitely get your perspective on this idea of diversification of non-traditional ventures in hip-hop, right? Like the non-traditional business that have gotten into the game because they saw opportunity. And give me your perspective on you being that bridge builder, and what have you seen within that realm?
When you say non-traditional, are you talking about like a lot of these, online entrepreneurs who kind of make businesses from their passions, or are you talking about something a little different?
Well, it's interesting you say that. So, for example, we're using one of the texts we're using, and yours is going to be including this soon you guys get ready to release it, is we're using the big payback. Okay, Dan Charnas We're going to bring Dan Charnius and have a dialogue about, the business behind hip hop. And one of the things that really enlightened me was Marshall Fields being in the hip hop game. Now, those of us that live in Chicago know Marshall Fields is a big clothier, right? But we didn't know that it funded gangster rap on the West Coast. His grandson, of course, got into the game and started Interscope Records. And so, again, you're talking about a clothing company that goes back to the 1800s funding hip hop. You feel me? In some context.
Yeah, I mean, really, what we're seeing today is like the floodgates are open. When we're talking about the tech industry in general, um, it's pretty much open game. Before it used to be a old boys club where you only certain people could get in, and you had to be from tech in general. Um, can you guys hear me? I'm not sure if in the
Oh, yeah, we
chat.
can hear you real good.
Okay.
Yeah, real clear. Yeah.
Okay, I hear like the chat thing. Let me just make sure I could. Okay, yeah, so basically, now what we're seeing today is like tech is, the gatekeepers are gone. And so with hip hop was so brand new and fresh at the time, and there was no gatekeepers. And so yeah, a clothing line like, that one could jump in and do what they did. But now, it's almost like the same thing. The surface, how tech is kind of surging. It's almost like when hip hop first started, right? There are no rules. And so now anybody can kind of jump in and kind of figure things out for themselves and invest and put their weight behind it.
Word up, word up. And it's interesting you say that because as you're talking about it, and I'm just marinating on the thought about Marshall Fields being down with, with Interscope and really knowing it's this relationship that Jimmy Iovine had with Dr. Dre, and that the context of that relationship being funded from the Midwest. I mean, we got to take it back to that root. And so it's like, you to think about, why didn't Motown get into the hip hop game early on? Why didn't they see that opportunity, or why did it take so long for Johnson Publishing Company to start rap radio on WJPC many years ago?
Yeah.
Why do we, from the business side of it? Go ahead.
They're too used to the old ways of doing things, man. And that's why disruption is such a huge word in tech. Everybody's being disrupted. And so what happened to Motown is Motown got disrupted. Death Row disrupted Motown. That's what happened. And so, it happens. And either you embrace this change or you fall to the wayside.
Right. And that kind of, we're talking about record labels, and you yourself are an MC.
Nah, yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, tell me about your experience, because I think that Wanda and I, when we first originally talked, we had talked about your stint in the music business itself.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, well, yeah. So in the music, I was a local rapper here in Jersey, and I had a small rap group with my partner. We were just like basically trying to be like Mobb Deep, just trying to go back and forth and keep that energy going. But yeah, it was an interesting experiment for myself. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take it to the next level, but it was a great learning experience, and it actually opened up doors. To be honest with you, I feel like a lot of what I learned, trying to be an MC, I applied, being an entrepreneur, and those skills were easily transferable. As far as being able to speak in a way where you can help people see your dream the way you want to see it, or be able to pitch a company to an investor. I wasn't really as nerve wracked. I was able to kind of paint a picture very vividly on what I kind of saw for my company, and I thought a lot of the skills that I learned as a rapper kind of transferred there.
Oh, word. And that's interesting. I'd like for you to dive just a little bit deeper, if you would, into, because we talked about this idea of artists and how, we know with hip hop, the initial stages of it was, like you said, the back and forth. We're enjoying performing. We getting accolades for, blowing the mic up, having, cold dance skills, or being sick-witted on the ones and twos. or being real nice with the art can. But at some point, whether it's where did it kick in where you say, wait a minute, I got to get some grip off this, and was that the point that you saw that was tech coming of age where you said, you know what, man, I'm also a tech head. Let me go ahead and see what it is on this side. Bless us with that. I think he's saying something we don't hear him. Because he's talking, but we can't hear him. Anthony, we can't hear you. We're trying to find out what happened to you. Hold on one second, Anthony. Keep talking, Anthony. Yeah, because we can't hear you, but we see you. We see you, but we can't hear you. Okay. Huh. Austin or William Gold, why don't y'all say something? Let's see if it's across the board or if it's just his microphone.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear William Gold.
Austin checking in.
Okay.
And we can't hear Anthony either.
Okay, Anthony, you dropped. We got your video of you, Anthony, but we don't get your vocals.
Hey, quick question. You hear me?
I'll come back in a minute. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I actually have to head out here in just a minute, but I want if you can restate the question so I can insert my statement or my opinion on whatever it is. I just want you to restate the question for me real quick so I can answer.
Sure. What I was asking, when was it? I was asking Anthony, when did he recognize that he, as an artist, that he was having fun, but then at some point something kicked in, or was there some point that it kicked in and said, wait a minute, I need to get some grip? And he saw opportunity, and was opportunity arising in the tech industry at that time where he saw opportunity to monetize.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could give you my opinion from a current day artist who still hasn't, I mean, profited from his production, but is on the way to.
And point that question or point that comment at Anthony.
Yeah, well, he dropped out of the conversation, but just in case it comes back to watch, I just think that from a perspective of having fun with the music and then finding a way to insert yourself into the business aspect of it is that for me currently I'm still in between. I'm still in that gray area between the fun aspect and then learning how to make money. I'm literally just stepping into it, like as of 2 days ago, and so for me, it's been all about making the beats for myself or making the compositions, having fun with it, putting them out for people to listen to, and then just getting feedback from it. But now it's being able to bring artists and the people who aren't even really artists but just want to have fun with it and putting them in the studio and realizing that I have the skill set to be able to record artists, mix down artists, promote their music, make the cover art for them, and have allow them to experience the allow them to experience the full effect of being like an actual artist. If
Hello, they're not. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We can hear you again.
And having that be, allowing that to be something that's occurring for them, or allowing myself to be able to bring them to the stage of actual artistry is just something that's allowing me to build further. So I don't really know from someone. We can hear you, bro.
We can hear you, Anthony.
He dropped out.
He dropped back out, but we can hear you.
But yeah, I just wanted to insert my little piece. I don't really have too much to say upon that because I'm just now figuring it out. But yeah.
Well, your point is documented, and I think that's one of the things that when you look at, so you should be taking a look at the Fat Startups website, and I think that Anthony and them have some things on there. They have some podcast stuff too that we're going to post up. But you should go to their website and take a look at the Fat Startup and see what within the context of what you're doing, how that would tie in.
Absolutely.
In terms of monetizing your art, okay?
Absolutely. Alrighty, I'll catch up with you guys later. I gotta take off.
All right, William, go.
Alrighty, y'all have a good one.
Okay. Oh, we see you, Anthony. Can you hear us, Anthony? We see you.
Yeah, you guys probably can hear me, but I can't hear or see you guys.
Oh, you can't.
That's
Okay.
the challenge. If you can hear me,
We can hear you.
um, which is weird.
Sorry. Oh. If can we text him and let him know that he can just
Yeah, I see your messages.
okay. Please.
Anthony, can
You
you hear
see and
me?
hear me. I don't hear you guys at all. I don't see anything.
Interesting. Wanda had chimed in for a minute.
Yeah, I was asking Anthony, can he hear me? You guys can hear me, right?
I wonder what
We can
happened.
hear you. Yeah, we can hear
Um,
you, Wanda.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can
I
hear
can
you and we
try
can
and
hear you.
relaunch this.
Okay. Did you want to just maybe just do audio? Well, that's still not an issue. That's still an issue too. Never mind.
Yeah, we're working it out. So I think he's gonna try to relaunch into it.
Yeah, he said he's gonna relaunch.
Yeah. Try to relaunch into it, and then we'll go from there.
Let me see. Let me see what's up.
So one of the things I'm gonna post on the for you guys' next assignments is to go is to take a listen to their podcast. And so there's two podcasts they sent me, and so we'll take a listen to that, and that may be on your for your next blog. It'll be taking a listen to those podcasts within the context of the readings. Okay. Yes, let's talk about lab. Yes. Listen, gentlemen.
Hey, well, is it any way that you can just put Anthony on a call?
Yes, that's we're gonna see if we can put him just on. You said on vocal.
Yeah, just put him on a call or just put him on speakerphone. You wanna?
Yeah, give us a cell phone number. We put him on call.
Okay. Well, the number is 973 368 5895.
There's something going on where it's cutting, but it's cutting out so bad. Yeah, what's going on?
You got that, Will?
Yeah, hold on one second, Wanda. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, Anthony. You there? Yes, yeah. No, that's cool. Again, like Wanda said, we building this thing as we go. That's what it is, right? So one of the things we want to find out from you, or we're coming down to the end of class, is we need to figure out how to make certain that we can get configured with your technology on your end, where you're going to be able to chime in and us get that fine tune, so we can keep trying this until we get it seamless the way we need it to. That makes sense to you? Okay.
What about Zoom? Have you tried Zoom?
Did you hear that, Anthony? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering because it's also like a live video type of conferencing platform. I just wondered if you had tried it before.
Yeah, I did actually try Zoom before. It was pretty good. I only used it one time, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay. Okay. So why don't we do this? Why don't we? Because we got us an initial meet. We got us an initial meet. We got some. We got plenty more talking we need to do. But I want to make certain that we get our platform together. So what I'd like to do is in the interim, I've already assigned the students the podcast homework, and let us dive into that. But then we will reconnect me, you, and Wanda to figure out which platform is going to be the best to make the most of the call. Make sense? Okay, cool. All right. So I will reach out to y'all. Is there anything you want to say to the students before we hang up?
No, no more. I mean, I had. I think. What was the last question you asked me? Because I think it was. I wanted to answer that, but I guess we'll get to it another time. But yeah, like. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, what I'll do, yeah, because once we capture it, it's going to sound very good. And I think what you have to say, I want to get the best quality out of it. And right now we have you mic'd to a telephone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll rephrase the question and I'll even send it to you. So when we connect next time, we'll start off with that question. They'll been and read, take a listen to the podcast, and we'll factor all that in.
Okay, perfect. And perfect.
Cool. All right. All right. Cool. All right, Anthony, Wanda, and the crew and everybody that's online. We're working this thing out as we go, and we'll keep y'all posted on the next. We'll be back at it next week, so we'll talk about if you're available next week to try this again. We're gonna figure out the Skype thing, and that might be a better platform for us.
Yeah. Thanks, Well. We appreciate it, and we're on board.
All
All
right,
right,
cool.
guys. Thank you. Thanks for your patience.
Yeah, you come in so clear. Yeah, you are like real clear, Wanda.
I know. I know. I can hear you good too. That's crazy.
Who is? Anthony? Okay. Okay.
I'm like Wanda.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because we want your video. Your video was looking real good, Anthony. So we want all of you. Trust.
No, I was kind of agreeing. I was saying that yeah, next time it could be a little bit better. I can't really hear Will too clearly because of the echo from the mic.
Gotcha.
But
Okay, cool, cool. Okay, well we'll work it out, man. We're gonna get this hardware down hard, and we're gonna go from there.
yeah, I wanna really give you guys something dope to leave with. So
Okay.
get it going. It's gonna be good.
All right, excellent. All right, man. Be easy. Okay. Austin, you there, Austin? I think Austin might be out too. Austin, you gone? Okay, I think we're down. Okay, cool. All right, y'all. Testing. Austin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still.
Oh, you still here? I thought you had left. No, he's still there. Talk, Austin.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Okay, yeah, we got you. We're taking care of some housekeeping, Austin. But if you got some things, man, you want to add, go ahead. Now's the time to do it. You got the floor if you want it.
Oh no, man. I thought the person standing up was presenting something. Is the class over?
Yep, we're done. We're wrapping up.
Oh, very cool, man. That's too bad about the audio with Anthony. I was just checking out his website. It looked like he had a lot of great things he could add to the conversation.
I think we might have him back next week. We just got to find which platform is going to be the most consistent on his end as well as our end.
Yeah, there's no doubt that some of that is with him. I think I'd like to sit down and work on that with y'all, just getting this medium as tight as physically possible, you know, because there's so much great stuff to talk about. Every time you can't get it done, it's just like we just missing
Right.
out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I think we were able to capture some good stuff today. I think that, and that's what I had talked to Wanda and Anthony about, was today being the day we just do kind of like a meet and greet.
Okay.
And that got us a little bit towards in that direction. We didn't get a chance to go as deep as we would have liked to in the conversation because of the technology. I want to make certain that the capture is very clear, audio and video wise.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is the first time we're testing the space out with this new setup. I think what does it look like on your end? Is it popping in your screen?
Yeah, so there's some definite benefits. I can see the faces, or I could see the faces of the students. The benefit of the other one was it's kind of more high up, so it was a different view. I could see the screen. But I'm not sure yet. I think they both have their merits. It's probably not a wrong way to go in that regard. I think the big thing is just the audio and the video, or maybe even like putting together a real simple set of instructions for a person that's coming in to speak. Like,
Yes.
hey, this is the link. It will go live at this time. Please check your mic by doing X, Y, Z, and call in 5 minutes early or something like that.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Cool. All right. Well, we're gonna shut it down, and then I guess I'll be seeing you this weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna come down there. I definitely want to sit down with the both of you. I'm excited, man. You guys, you've got the connects. You've got good people coming, and we got big things to come. Absolutely. So we'll be down there Saturday morning.
That's what it is. All right, then.
All right, everybody.
Easy.